If you're looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have credits. But what I do have is armor made of Beskar. And if you don't return Baby Yoda, I think the world might end. This isn't taken, but this is the Mandalorian after show. I have spoken.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome back! Welcome back! What a week in the Star Wars galaxy! Christian every time just kills this intro.
Every time.
I think what's happening is there's a lot of stress. Twitter almost broke because of the stress.
I know.
Of what happened in this episode. Let's get right into it because my co-pilot's freaking out. But I'm Steph Sabraw, aka Chewbacca's long lost daughter. We have the head of Popcorn Talk, a.k.a. Rilo
Ren, Ryan Nilsen here. And yes, I know we're stressed. There's a lot of things happening right now in our country. Baby Yoda has been taken.
Screw the impeachment hearings. All that matters
Baby
now is
Yoda.
Baby Yoda. To our left is Grand Admiral Xia Anderson. She's a part of the Marvel panel, but also a mega Star Wars fan.
The force is with her.
With her number one co-host, Grand Moff Christian Bladt.
That was a perfect use of that.
McClunky to y'all.
McClunky to you all.
Happy Life Day, everybody.
Okay, this episode, directed by Deborah Chow, written by Jon Favreau, epic episode. We knew that was going to happen again because she's a beast. She's a beast, and I talked to the panel about this before. I think this was the most well-written episode. I feel like they've really gotten their bearings on what they want to do with this show, and it's still an adventure of the week, but we got back to like a more holistic story of what the bigger picture is.
Yes.
So we're gonna break it down. It's almost chronologically because each step of this episode, major things happened and obviously ended on a huge cliffhanger. It is the penultimate episode, which means chapter 8 is gonna be crazy. After we break down the episode, we will get into our director's corner. We've done this with Deborah Chow, but there are more things happening in the Chow universe.
Yes.
Ryan's going to handle that. And then Xia is going to hit us with some news and gossip. Obviously, we know Rise of Skywalker is going to premiere this week. 3 of us have seen it. Xia will see it.
And then there's also Xia.
We will not spoil you, we promise. But there's news around it. It's obviously causing a lot of controversy and conversation.
Yeah.
And Christian Bladt is in the chat.
Blatt chat.
We're taking a look at the Blatt chat, and we'll let you know what everybody's saying.
Yes.
Are they worried about Baby Yoda like we are?
Yeah, we're
Everybody
concerned.
has to be.
Ryan, hit us with your overall thoughts
Overall
of this episode.
thoughts, I need Baby Yoda to touch my heart and heal these wounds this episode gave me. I feel scarred. I feel taken advantage of. My heart has been racing all day. I think my heart skipped a beat at the end of this episode. This was beyond a cliffhanger. This was like a cliff. I'm going to slap you in the face a bunch of times and make you wait not only a week, but a week and a half, because we're not getting the next episode until after the holiday, which is crazy. I don't know if I can make it, really. I think I want a Christmas present of an earlier premiere for next week. But yes, like you were saying, this is one of the most well-written episodes yet. Deborah Chow is an all-star director. We'll get into her a little later. Loved this episode. There is a through line. It's not just an adventure of the week.
Yes.
We had people come back into this episode.
So happy about that.
Thrilled to see them. Absolutely loved it.
Xia?
I really love this episode. I know last episode I said was my favorite. This one is a very strong contender.
Love that.
It was just really good. No, you're good, Ryan. Ryan's too excited.
Good.
He's choking on his tea. I really enjoyed that we got Cara Dune back, which I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen. They advertised her so much. I'm really glad that they brought her back. I was a little bit disappointed in some of her lines. I feel like they could have used her a little bit better. And there was one sequence in the episode that I was like, unless it comes back in some way, why did we get that? That was so unnecessary. Other than that, amazing episode. I was not ready for that end at all. I was not ready. I watched the episode twice today, and both times I was like,
I had to rewind.
At the end, just like,
I'm like, are those
staring.
ears?
Those are ears.
No!
Kuill, have you made it to the dropship? Kuill, have you made it to the dropship? Kuill.
Christian.
Well, first and foremost, I'm going to have to point out that, Ryan, you're getting exactly what you deserve, because if you remember just last week, you considered killing Baby Yoda.
Oh
just
my God.
Just for a non-speaking cameo. Just for a
That is a
non-speaking cameo.
teaser of our
It was a
news and
one-line
gossip
cameo.
I'm
because
just saying.
that's a teaser because there is another pilot in the galaxy who has threatened Baby Yoda's life, and we will play that clip. I think
All
Vito
right.
knows what I'm talking about. Vito, we have a different producer in the booth, equally as amazing, way more knowledge than Jeff Graham.
He's actually seen a Star Wars movie.
Actually
Yeah.
loves Star Wars and The Mandalorian, so we're happy to have him.
Thank you guys for having me.
And a tremendous fan of the Star Wars Holiday Special, so welcome to Vito in the booth. But what I wanted to say is that I thought this was a great episode, and I think we had talked last week, that obviously they're building up to something. I thought we were going to get some familiar faces. Did not think we would get Nick Nolte. It's not Kuill, it's Kuiil.
Kuiil.
And so as soon as I saw him, I'm like, well, this is already a good episode. And then, of course, a little bit of a roller coaster of emotions. I just worry so much about that little guy.
Oh,
And
wow.
I really hope he's okay. I hope Kuiil's okay too, but I'm really worried about Baby Yoda.
Me too.
He's just so cute.
I'm glad we assembled our Mandalorian Avengers. We did not end on a high note, but I'm glad that we're getting characters back. I'm not in love with Cara Dune's character, and I wish I was. I don't know if she's being utilized in the best way. I think physically, absolutely, she's incredible that way, but her lines and kind of her character I'm not loving, which I hate that I don't love her.
I really liked her the first episode she appeared in, but this episode I just think that the lines they wrote for her were really cheesy. They were kind of unnecessary.
There was one scene, the first scene that I have a problem with.
Which one was that?
It was the arm wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'll explain why when we get into it.
Okay.
So let's just jump right in. Mando gets a holo call from
Please
Greef
hold for
Karga.
Carl Weathers.
And I instantly did not trust this. I'm like,
Mando.
bro,
No.
you know better, but he needs that money. He
needs
has
that
a child
money.
to support now.
And
right.
he also has to he knows the only way to because people keep coming after Baby Yoda, and unless he gets rid of the imp, I love that they keep calling him the imp. I know. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, short for Imperial, I'm assuming, but it was really funny. But unless they get rid of the imp, the client, there's always going to be people coming after Baby Yoda. So it's like a double edge. He needs the money and he wants like safety for this child that he is taken under his protection.
It'd be a win-win.
Yeah.
And I had the same thought. I'm like, come on, Mando, you're smarter than this. And at least he does assemble his Mando Avengers.
Yeah.
He gets like his team. He gets people he actually trusts.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was just going to fly right in there and be like, hey, Carl Weathers, let's work together.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
That
like,
would've
he
been
should
horrible.
be smarter than
Right,
that.
right.
So at least he knew not to trust the situation.
That was such a cool scene when he landed and they ride up because I knew he picked them up. I didn't know he also brought the animals with him.
I thought that was cool.
And then
yeah.
they're just like sizing each other up. He's like, "You brought your team, I brought mine."
Yeah.
Just a great
good,
scene.
bro?
Like they're very smart.
But before that, his first stop is Sorgon, and this is we see in chapter 4, which is his first introduction to Cara, and that's a cool scene with her. She's fighting a Zabrak.
Yeah.
And they're connected with some sort of power. It's a cool way to
That
fight.
was so cool.
Yeah.
It's like a
that's,
rope of
That's
some sort.
actually how Ryan and I met.
Yeah.
He
We were-
won. He won the fight, clearly. But.
Interesting
Well, yeah.
though, with her, she wasn't convinced, and then as soon as he said that it's the target is Imperial, I'm in.
I liked that.
You
I
like
thought
it?
that
She
was
was
cool.
a
That-
rebel fighter.
Yeah, I like that she's just like, no, I really want to stay out of. Oh, it's okay, yeah. You know what I mean? I like that she's like, I just want to stay out of it. But then she's like, all right, it's important. You talked me into it, and I think he kind of knew that too.
But jumping ahead a little bit, just with her, another issue I had was they wanted to cover her arm tattoo.
Sure, they only mentioned it 6 times.
The woman has a face tat, bro, and it's a rebellion symbol.
Yeah, it is on her eye.
I didn't think of that.
That's a great point.
I kind of thought that they were also referring to her face tattoo. Was it
No,
specifically
she
just
only
the
covered
arm?
her arm.
She only covered her arm,
Yeah.
and it seemed that was what they were speaking
She
of.
could have
was-
put some dust over it or
Just some
something. It's
powder.
a dusty plant. They were walking through Mordor. She could have done something.
That's a good point.
Don't they have?
Yeah,
don't they have concealer in a long time ago? Galaxy Far, Far Away.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
must.
I know.
I kind of liked how we got reintroduced to her, though. I'll be honest. Like, I liked the wrestling match, and
I thought it was
yeah.
fun
No,
because
that
it's
part-
different.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
I like that scene, and I do think that is that is the strength that they're using and playing to. I don't think they've figured out her dialogue yet, or kind of like the depth of her character in a way. But now let's get into Kuiil. So this is when we're in Arvala 7, Nick Nolte's home base. Yep. And this brings about a lot of interesting conversation, especially concerning IG-11, who he's reformed. And what?
That's awesome.
No, I'm sorry. That was the sequence that I was like, we did not need that. Unless I thought that was like a ridiculous. I was like, wait, why did we get that?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
him rebuilding him.
Wow. I really, really didn't like it. Unless it comes back next episode.
Why don't we save that for, because I have a prediction about IG-11.
Okay.
So I think we've gotten him for a reason.
I do think that that has to be foreshadowing something, but for this particular moment in time, I was like, I could have done without that in this episode. That was nonsense time.
There were some good laughs.
He
was bringing them drinks.
Right. I kind of liked it because it adds another layer of suspense. We know Mando hates droids, obviously, because they murdered his family.
Yeah,
right.
But also,
understandable.
And this one was specifically programmed to kill Baby Yoda, who is now on his ship permanently. So I love that heightened tension. It's another bounty hunter, and so I'm digging it. I think it makes sense. Kuill would obviously want some more help with whatever farming or related things he's doing. So I'm into it, and no one else shares that hate for droids that Mando has. So that's why I think I bought it a little more.
I didn't mind him bringing him back and explaining it. I just didn't need the flashback sequence of showing it.
Of him building
the part.
it.
Yeah.
The montage.
The other part I don't mind.
I think it was in Kuil's writing and the client's writing that I was like, this is magnificent. When he was saying droids are not good or bad, they are neutral reflections of those who imprint them.
Ooh.
That's
I wrote that down too.
Yeah.
That's a really good line.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I mean, because it's like people will talk about pets or children. It's like, that's a bad dog, that's a bad kid. It's like, well, what about the owner/parent?
And Kuil's just take on being able to help Baby Yoda, and when he says none will be free until the old ways are gone forever. And I love that they're playing more into the politics of what's happening right now, and I think that is such a strength that they haven't tapped into as much as they should.
Yeah.
And I love when Star Wars does that in a way that's not too intense, because we've seen that kind of fail in some of the movies. But I do think it's important because it speaks on the cultural significance that can relate to us.
It's also really nice to get a little glimpse into what it was like after the Empire fell, because they're still out there. There's still people. The client, in his speech that he gave Mando in the canteen in the bar, talking about how much he believed in the Empire. Like, he still believes in that vision and that it was going to create a better world for everyone. And there's still all of these stormtroopers that are still working for people that, like, the Empire is gone. They lost the war, but they're not gone. And it's interesting to see a little bit of that, getting that, because they're not going to disappear all at once. They blew up the Death Star. They didn't kill everyone.
Yeah,
so
I think Werner Herzog has some, just where he's just like, we went into a system and we made it better. It's just that belief that no, this is what was right. This is what we did. Everybody's lives were better. It's sort of like, to bring it to Marvel, it's like Thanos. It's like, no, we made everything better. Did you ever go hungry under the Empire? Sure, you weren't free, but
you were fed.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I think that that defense was just interesting to hear, because not usually we hear it, and to kind of just, it's a little bit, but it makes it easy to believe that this is 5 years after Return of the Jedi, that whatever it is, 20, 30, I guess it's like 30 years, Force Awakens, is like, that's how the First Order was able to come about, because this doesn't go away even over 30 years. There's still remnants of it. You still have people who are true believers. They're just kind of for hire, like those stormtroopers that we see in this series.
Exactly. So now the whole force is assembled, and this is my problem with the following scene, the one that I spoke to earlier. We have Mando and Cara arm wrestling. I feel like this was just a scene to show that Baby Yoda will use the force and force choke her. And to me, that doesn't make sense, because if we remember in Chapter 4, he saw them literally fighting, and that was actually based in aggression, whereas this was based in pure fun. And he was sipping soup.
Well, I was going to say, to be fair, there was no soup on the ship, so he wasn't
Maybe
able
he
to
was
get
tense.
It's interesting because it gives you the idea of like, this whole time we think about like how cute Baby Yoda is, and of course we think of adult Yoda, we think of Master Yoda. Yeah. But what if like this guy is is like this, sleeper agent for the Sith.
He went straight for a Sith move.
He immediately tries to choke her.
I think it was a protective move.
Yeah,
I know, I get it.
He's
Look,
definitely grown attached.
Look, that's his Mando daddy.
Yeah.
I get it. It's cool. But it just got me to start thinking, I'm like, maybe we're looking at Baby Yoda all wrong.
It is...
Maybe the Empire wants him for a reason.
Yeah. No, I do. Well, and speaking of the Empire, the only time we've seen Luke do this once or twice, but really the only people who use this are Darth Vader and Kylo Ren. I mean, it's pretty exceptional to see another Force-sensitive creature use a choke.
Mace Windu didn't do any chokeholds.
But Luke did it to a Gamorrean guard in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Sorta.
Okay.
He was like, But it wasn't maybe a choke. It was maybe it was some kind of like tickle choke.
No, yeah, I'm saying Luke did it, but it's not usually used.
Right.
No, it's a Sith move.
I like this scene because it adds another interesting layer, like what Christian just said. I don't know about sleeper agent for the Sith, but the idea that he could go bad.
What's going on with him?
That the Empire could use him.
Yeah,
and
for
that
bad.
just hit me. Speaking of Kuil's lines, that it's about who is parenting or overseeing, and it's the same with babies are impressionable as the droids.
Well, and
totally.
Really, I think a lot of that too is the fact that Baby Yoda sees. I mean, Steph, you brought up such a great point that he literally saw them fighting before and didn't do anything. But in that, I guess he's sitting there and he's watching his protector, this person that he's grown very attached to, possibly lose at something, and maybe he doesn't understand the stakes of it, but he understood enough to jump in there and try to protect this person. But it was just interesting what he used to try to do that, how he tried to protect him. But he still did. He has this attachment to Mando, and that's kind of like his person. You see it anytime he gets taken away too. Because a lot of the way he emotes is with his ears, and the way his eyes and his ears are. Anytime he's taken away from Mando, he's like, oh my God, I don't like this.
Also, with Kuill, I just have this, I trust you.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, I'm with you.
Yeah.
And he snaps at Cara a few times.
Definitely.
And
you saw a side of Kuill here. And I mean, you're also more comfortable with him because he just made a new crib.
Yep.
He just designed this like awesome way for it to like open and close. It looks like bulletproof, blaster proof, everything proof.
Lived 3 human lifetimes.
And then he snaps at Cara. Like that was like an old uncle, just like drunk, freaking out, yelling at someone. Nick Nolte. Love it.
Been through.
But kind of scary, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Before we move on to the next section of this episode, I do want to shout everyone out in the chat. Thank you for riding with us live. We really appreciate it. You are definitely part of this panel with us. Make sure to hit that like button. Leave us a comment after this video ends. And also, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, hello.
Give us a 5-star rating.
Yes.
We'll shout you out on air.
So let's talk about this meetup with Greef Karga. And they kind of were sizing each other up, which I love that scene. But then it led to a really epic scene where we get like venomous bats.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was crazy.
The fireside
dragon
chat.
bat things. Those were crazy.
Everything's gonna be fine. You hear him yell.
Immediate timing. The thing that I don't get is how they were there. If that's their sort of home, especially Greef Karga, he does business off that planet. He should know that those are creatures that are somewhere that they should have known about those. He should have realized that was a threat, unless they came out of nowhere. That is possible. But
yeah, but you got to figure.
That's a good point.
Even if he doesn't camp out near the riverbed very often, he should know. There is stuff that flies around out there, so you should be careful.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah. And he didn't at all. So, but it was very funny. Everything will be fine, and then instantly everything was not fine. So yeah, I thought it was a very exciting sequence because it was like, wait, what? It was so fast paced and so much happened in just those few minutes. So
it would have been
cool.
so funny if he got his arm bit off like Chubbs and Happy Gilmore because he's Happy. I think that would have been amazing. And they're like, you took his hand, you took his hat, dingbats. I would have loved that.
Hilarious.
But it didn't happen. But he gets scarred.
Yes,
it's like a gnarly scar.
More insane than a force choke is healing, which we have never seen in the galaxy.
Never.
No, and
we've never seen it.
This is not the first time he's attempted it. This is just the first time that, again, Cara going, get this thing out of here, and Kuill and all of his wisdom being like, just shh, calm down, let's see what happens. And look what happened, because he tried to heal Mando, I think it was in episode 2.
Yeah.
And he put him back in the stroller immediately, and this was the first time that Kuiil kind of realized, there's something very different about this child. Let's see what happens.
Oh, right, because he did touch him in 2.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
he might
tried to.
Wow.
He tried to, but he didn't. He just
didn't
was
let
like,
him.
get out of the way.
And that's what we had thought. We had all thought that was
Oh
what
my
he was
God.
attempting to do.
And that's this reversal of earlier, we saw the choke, and now this is a bringing back to life in a way.
His
or
instinct
healing.
is, I believe his instinct is based in goodness.
Right.
Yeah,
But he's going to
I
have that
agree.
choice, like you said, or how he's
Yes.
raised.
Well, there was an interesting in
Nature
chat.
nurture.
I believe Steve Owen said Baby Yoda is learning violence from
From
Mando.
Mando, yeah, I thought that was a
And
good point.
that's
Oh,
you know
that is
Nature
interesting.
versus
definitely
nurture.
possible.
Yeah.
But because of this, Greef Karga admits that he was going to bamboozle him and screw him over, but he ends up killing his own men, which was a cool turn of events because, I mean, this little angel child saved your life, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
well deserved. But that leads us to the client, and this was another such a well-written scene. I was obsessed with this. The tension was incredible. It was shot and edited so well. Ryan, what did you think about this?
Loved this scene so much. Also, him just talking about the Empire.
Yeah.
For a second, I'm like,
Yeah, Christian
you're
had-
convincing me. You're like, he's literally like,
I'm
all
in.
this hate and
I'm ready-
darkness.
Yeah, I'm ready to enlist.
Everyone-
Safety,
Sign me up.
prosperity,
Every
trade
day.
opportunity, peace.
Yeah.
Is the world more peaceful since the revolution?
Show me a kid.
Which is
Like,
interesting.
He's just like, the world sucks. Show me the child.
He did go right
Like-
into it. It was
I'm
really
like,
funny.
yeah, I guess that's why we do need Baby Yoda. He kind of laid it out there for
Yeah.
us. And I really, awesome scene. Interesting plan where they're like, I have a plan. You bring him back to the ship. We now have Carl Weathers
Yeah.
on our side. Let's go visit the client. And so we know what's at stake here. But nothing ever goes according to plan. And that just made the perfect stakes for this entire scene.
Yeah, and then we get the call from Moff Gideon, Giancarlo Esposito.
Yes.
Yeah.
Christian, what did you think about the introduction of this character?
I know we've been waiting for him, and I thought it was great. Wait, what's his full name?
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon. It's good to know that he runs the Moff Gideon's fried chicken, and then he, of course, came there to me. I mean, look, honestly, he's playing the same character. Let's be honest.
Oh my god.
You know,
I think it's different.
But he says you have something
I know,
in
but
mind.
it's the same kind of presence, is what I mean. Of
Yes.
course, it's not the same.
Definitely
character.
presence.
But
He's-
he just comes, out, and you're just like.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so this is some kind of baller gangster type who can pretty much get anything he wants. And I actually didn't think we were going to see him. I thought when we saw the hologram, it was like, okay, we'll get him next episode. So when he showed up, I'm like, all right, this is going to be
Right?
great. I thought it was really cool to see him. What I love about this sequence is
Sorry,
it goes
Moff Gideon.
Moff
Moff
Gideon.
Gideon. My
like
notes.
Moff Tarkin.
like
Yes.
me, yeah.
Moff Gideon.
Grand Moff Christian. So
Forgive
I
me.
thought that it was interesting because they kept talking about like see only 4 stormtroopers, and then of course it's like 4 battalions of stormtroopers, which I thought was it wouldn't be Star Wars if the plans went according to plan. you
Those
know?
are shadow troopers? Is that what
Death
showed
troopers.
up?
Death troopers.
Those are
my
the Death Troopers.
God.
We also saw the speeder
So
bike
dope.
troopers from
Mm-hmm.
Return of the Jedi. So there was no shortage of troopers
Oh,
there.
so cool. I know, and they said 4.
And then at one point
Yeah.
he's like, see, I told you 4. And then like 8 more come in right after that.
Yeah,
So-
immediately.
Yeah, so I thought the whole sequence was great because it just shows you what the stakes are, and it raises it to a point where you're like, yeah, is Mando really gonna get out of this? You know,
I definitely enjoyed what I really enjoyed about that was the fact that they had no qualms just shooting up the entire place and killing Werner Herzog, the client.
Yeah.
No issues with it. They killed
Yeah.
him and all of the stormtroopers inside.
the child's what's important, you
And we
know?
knew he answered to someone
Yeah.
bigger than him,
Right.
and so. But it was interesting that he was like, "I mean, you're just a casualty in this."
What a
And-
way to set up your
Yeah.
villain, though. Like, I think, what better way to make an entrance? Like you said, Giancarlo Esposito, as an actor, he has such a presence. But there are moments in shows like Breaking Bad where he doesn't even say a line. He does one action, and you're
Yeah.
like, this guy is a badass. And in this, it's like you just killed Werner Herzog.
Who is very? I mean, he is a
He was an
force as
imposing
well.
Like,
character.
yeah.
This
He's
guy
great.
is terrifying, and he's not like a lot of other Imperial generals. I feel like you either get like a no name that's just kind of on screen, comes in and out, or you get someone like a Moff Tarkin, or even like an Admiral Thrawn from the books and now in the Rebel series. Like, this is definitely going to be a massive villain.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that we get him the episode before the finale at the very end. So he's going to be, I wonder if he'll go into season 2 or if he's going to be a one.
Yeah,
you would think,
that's what
right?
I was thinking. Yeah.
I think so too, especially when he says it means more to me than you will ever know. And that's just interesting because we get some Kuill form. He kind of says that he does not think that, he doesn't use the word clone, but he's kind of talking around that type of terminology. And so it just makes me wonder what the heck is going on. Why does Baby Yoda mean so much? How do you know? Because Kuill doesn't know about the Force, but he alludes to it. It's obviously in some sort of discussion, but there's not much more that we know about that with where we are.
Right, and there's conversation about just what Baby Yoda is, and they sort of there's what they talk about in terms of genetic farming and that reference to Cara and all of this. So it got me thinking a lot about what is this? We still don't assume that Yoda is actually this creature's father. Now, it could certainly be. It just doesn't seem like the most likely scenario. So is it from a sample of his DNA, and it just was it made in a farm and then this one got away and they want it back? It raised so many questions that I hadn't really thought about. And it's Baby Yoda, we just want to know you.
There's a great article about that on AfterBuzzTV.com, written by yours truly, about the potential
What a
cloning
setup! What a pivot!
Of Baby Yoda.
But
so please check that out.
We have to talk about the events that followed this because.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Wow. We hear Mando trying to check in on Kuill.
Are you there yet?
What?
Are you there yet, Kuill?
Are you there yet?
So urgently,
only to see Kuill on the floor and two Baby
smoke
Yoda
coming out of his skin.
Was
he just
that?
got shot up. Yeah.
Yeah.
it was terrible.
Oh, I couldn't tell if that was his ride.
It might have been.
So it might have. You're actually right. It might have been.
might
But
have been.
oh my gosh.
I
But
thought
then
he got
Baby
smoked.
Yoda's ears are peering out and he is picked up like a football.
Scoop!
Those damn speeders are so fast.
They're
so fast.
As they were racing across the desert and through Mordor again, I was sitting there on my couch like this, is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? Why are they so fast? Damn it, Blurgs! Freaking out in my living room.
Also, I wanted to see what the defense protocol was. He's go in the ship.
I did
Commence
wanna see that.
defense protocol. I'm
Yeah.
what's the ship gonna do?
Yeah.
Is this gonna be like that Rick and Morty episode? I don't know what's gonna happen. And we don't get to that was such a realistic move and really daring. I respected the heck out of that. This show is taking massive risks, and I'm gonna be anxious the rest of the week, quite frankly.
Yeah, Ryan's not been okay.
He's
all
not going to
day.
be able to celebrate Christmas because he's going to be waiting for the 27th.
The Death Troopers, so the black
Yes.
troopers, they were introduced in Rogue One. They are the stormtroopers that don't miss. They are the ones that have good aim, as we clearly saw.
They're the only ones who can actually shoot something.
And in Rogue One, we didn't really get to see them in a battle action. So this is just setting up the highest stakes yet for the show next week. I cannot wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really nervous because Mando and Cara are alone. And with Greef Karga, numbers are so down. It does not look good.
No. And look, they're good, but they're surrounded.
And even with Baby Yoda becoming more comfortable with his use of the Force, it's still, I don't know what they need. They need friends.
Yeah.
They need allies.
Well, that's what I'm kind of wondering and kind of hoping. This is a callback that I wouldn't mind. They've done it once, and I wouldn't mind if they did it again if the other Mandalorians also showed up to sort of help them get out of this situation.
It might be a theory that I was saving for.
Wow.
Sorry, Christian.
I've got a couple people that I think are coming to the rescue.
Okay.
Well,
And by people, I mean characters.
That's actually interesting because one more quote that I did pull from the client was when he said, "Why did Mandalore resist our expansion?"
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting take specifically on the Mandalorians.
Yeah, that's his whole point is that that we make everything better. Mandalore would have been better if you had just submitted to the Empire.
Also, the character we never got anything back from the feet that showed up. We literally just saw his feet, and he showed up for Ming-Na Wen's character. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that going to come
Fennec.
into play in this
Or
episode?
do you think that
this next episode.
that was Gus Fring, Giancarlo Esposito, Grand Moff Esposito? Do you think that was him?
That's definitely possible.
What I was thinking.
Okay.
That's who that was at the end of the episode.
Wow.
I know,
Following them
despite
through.
Ryan's theory that it was a character from the animated series, I just feel like that might be who it is.
I think, just again with the directors, I'll talk about the directors later. I really do think that is still Cad Bane, because Dave Filoni, directed the episode, did the whole Clone Wars series. But that'd be a great
It would
theory.
make sense if that's who it is. But yeah, I mean, I guess look
There it
at
is.
that.
There it
Look
is.
at those feet.
Those feet, and we haven't
Look at
gotten
that.
anything, so that has to come into
Look
play.
at that quality footwear. If only we know who has shoes like
Asics,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Those have some good arch
Wait a
support.
minute. Are those Bruno Magli shoes?
Oh
Is that
my
OJ?
All
No!
right.
Juice! Get away!
And that is where we wrap our episode coverage
The
and
juice
move
is
on
loose.
to our special segment. Ryan,
Yes.
take our Director's Corner away.
Director's Corner, again, Deborah Chow doing her second episode this season. The last one she did was episode 3, which was full of praise. That was when we had all the Mandalorians pop in at the end. Yeah, how can we forget? Killing it once again with this episode. She is going to be directing, as of now, 6 episodes for the Obi-Wan spin-off series. She's showrunning that. I am so psyched for her.
So good.
Because really, I would
I'm
have...
so psyched for us.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a quality show.
Just get to watch.
She clearly has such a great knowledge of the universe and is awesome at tying all this stuff together and directing these action scenes and just establishing so much tension. She also has a new film that is in early development called The Possibility of Fireflies. It's going to star Courtney Love. So she is stepping back into the world of features. She's only done one feature before, and that was a film she did like right out of film school with Zach Braff. So I'm just so psyched for Deborah Chow because she's so talented, and clearly The Mandalorian is opening up more and more possibilities for her, so just bravo. But those are really the only 2 things going on. Next week, we got Taika Waititi, who obviously plays IG-11. He also had Jojo Rabbit come out this year. He is directing the season finale of The Mandalorian. I can't wait to see what he does with that. He's mostly known for his comedy drama with his films. You know, he did What We Do with the Shadows, which is just a straight-up comedy, like a mockumentary about vampires. He did Hunt for the Wilder People, which, again, another comedy drama film shot in New Zealand. And then this year, Jojo Rabbit, which it's now getting so much Oscar attention, it might get nominated for a couple of awards. So he's at like the height of his powers right now when it comes to directing, and I can't wait to see what he does with this. And I mean, yeah, he's also done Thor Ragnarok, so we know he's done these big blockbuster. He's been in this space before, so hopefully he knocks out of the park, and maybe he has a film on the horizon. But we'll see him next week.
Yes, thank you, Rye. Zia, can you hit us with some news and gossip?
Ooh, okay. I've got 2. I have got, obviously, there's the Rise of Skywalker that just came out.
The what now?
The Last Rise of...
I've never heard of that.
Episode...
Wait, they're doing more movies? I thought
I-
there was just a TV
Did I
show.
just make up the? I was like, did I just make
No,
up
you
the
got it. You
title?
got it right.
Did I
You got
mess
it
that
right.
up? My brain was like, hold on.
I thought Star Wars was just TV shows now. I didn't
Yeah,
know they
it's
were
just
doing
TV
another
shows.
movie.
Episode
movies.
9 tomorrow
More
for
movies.
people, right? It's
Tomorrow.
Thursday
Yeah,
night.
tomorrow is it. But I did have I'm gonna go with a really small one first. Pedro Pascal came into my work today and I freaked out, like almost had a miniature panic attack.
She texted all of us.
I did. I texted a group text in all capital letters. I was about to lose my mind, and no one else in the restaurant seemed to care. And I was like, "You guys!"
He didn't have his helmet on.
He didn't have his
If he
helmet
had the
on.
helmet on, people would have been like, hey, where's baby Yoda?
That is the
Oh, yeah.
top news.
That is the top
I mean, that
news.
is pretty big
It was
news.
She saw
really,
him.
really nice, and he also tips really, really well. Just throwing that
Okay,
out there.
Pedro?
Like very, very well. Yes, like 50% well.
I asked Zia to ask him if I could sit on Mando's lap.
Yeah, yeah. He has to wear that
Confession.
helmet for it though, and the
Yeah,
armor.
yeah, yeah.
Like it has to be.
You gotta wear the helmet.
One of those things.
Right.
Okay, so off with the small news. I just lost my mind. I have
Big
to tell you
news.
guys that. Big news. Rise of Skywalker is out, and it's interesting because it's getting a lot of negative reviews, which I don't understand because, and obviously we're not going to get into spoilers. Ryan's giving a look, but
No, I'm just speaking of reviews. You can see our review on Popcorn Talk.
Non-spoiler review
Non-spoiler.
is up on Popcorn Talk, and I will say, I as Star Wars fans, I suggest you don't read these reviews.
Definitely
and
don't read the
just
reviews.
get hyped. Get hyped for this saga to end, and just enjoy it. Just don't listen to the critics.
And Vito in the booth, I can say I was in the room for the
non-spoiler.
for the non-spoiler to to help them guide.
Keep us
their
accountable.
way to not spoil
He
it.
held us accountable. This
have
is
not
someone who
seen
was
it.
dying to see the film, and he was in the room while we did our review, just so you know.
So ready.
To
So we
make
didn't
sure.
spoil anything.
No spoilers. I didn't get any spoilers either, which I'm one of those weirdos that I don't mind spoilers. But Christian texted me. I know, I'm so weird.
You would mind me.
She loves spoilers.
I like to know.
No, don't know anything for this
Stuff's
film.
like, no. But I don't know anything. But Christian texted me afterwards and was like, "Yeah, I really liked it." And he said it was good. And I trust your.
Well, that's what I was going to say to
opinion
people.
and
Like,
your
if you watch
theory.
this show and you like the way that we talk about Star Wars, you can take what we say, but don't worry about anything. It's just before we started. I find it obscene that we live in a time where people need to check something with as dumb of a name as the tomato meter. How stupid do you sound? Wait, I gotta check the tomato meter. And look, how many movies that people that you have liked have
How the
terrible
Grinch
ratings?
Stole Christmas.
Have terrible ratings on there. Like even movies that I don't love. I mean, like Batman vs Superman is like a 29. I'm like, well, it's not that bad. You look at these ratings and you're like, okay, but there's the critics. And like, when do you read a critic review and you go like, that's exactly how I feel about a movie.
Yeah, I typically don't agree.
Yeah,
with
I mean,
critics.
sometimes,
Go ahead,
look,
Ryan.
when fans are writing reviews, sure, but I'm talking about someone who is a film with a capital F critic. And, like, they go to see Star Wars today, and then they go and see the Oscar movies the rest of the week. They're not going to see it in the same
It's
way
not the
that those
same
of
thing.
us do.
I
Right.
completely
Like, we were
agree.
all, I didn't see it with you guys, but we all saw it on Tuesday. Well, sorry, everybody except
Yeah,
Xia
thanks
saw
a
it.
lot, Christian. We all saw it.
And if you watch Whatever Movie News, we always see the movies without Xia.
They do, every
Except
time.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, you did take me to
I had to
Spider-Man.
take it to Spider-Man. But, and it was just so much fun, beginning to end. I had a great time. And I'll be kind. I did not love The Last Jedi.
And you
I
like
am
this.
not a fan.
That's the thing.
This
I
was
didn't
so
either.
great. And I had watched The Last Jedi the night before I rewatched it. And I already forgot about how much I didn't like it because this was so good.
Well, and that's how I felt too. And so the fact that you said it was good, I was like, okay, I trust him. I trust his opinion because I didn't like The Last Jedi either. It was
But even if
definitely-
you don't trust us, just go see it for
Yeah,
yourself.
just-
And look,
Yeah.
if you don't like it and you have all the, you have all these problems with it, that's fine. Just see it. The even worse than the stupid tomato meter is like, yeah, I read the summary. Sounds like it's gonna be a real shit show. I'm like, well, you just read a summary of it.
go
One, you
watch it.
spoiled it for yourself, dummy. I know you like spoilers, but it's just like, just see it.
Yeah, just see it.
Figure out what you think about it.
Something also really important. Last week, Ryan was posed with a question when he said that he would literally do anything to be a pilot, an extra pilot in any Star Wars film.
Sure.
Jeff Graham posed the question, would you kill Baby Yoda?
I hesitated.
He hesitated.
He thought about
Now, there's another pilot in the universe,
Poe Dameron.
Oscar Isaac, Poe Dameron, and we're just going to play the clip.
BB-8 or Baby Yoda?
BB-8. Baby Yoda. BB-8. Baby Yoda. I'm not into the Baby Yoda thing. Really? He's so cute. Have you watched The Mandalorian? Kill it. Kill it. Stamp it. Smush it.
Stamp it, smush it, he says.
I was a little bit
We
in
were
love
on the
with
same
Oscar
wavelength.
Isaac until this.
Listen.
I was a little bit in love with him until this.
I'm obsessed
I
with
think
John
you
Boyega.
have to
Yeah, well, now,
kill
yeah.
a Baby Yoda to become a pilot in the Resistance.
Okay,
Okay,
this
maybe
is
not.
what I call
Okay.
an enabler, and we are not gonna have this slander, especially
No.
on the
You're right.
On the
cusp of this episode.
You're right. You're
How
right. You're
dare
right.
you?
You're right.
Brian,
And
really think about it.
I messed up.
You watched him get taken.
Can we just talk about how BB-8's a poor man's R2-D2? Enough of BB-8.
I don't really care
He's
that much
not
about
that
BB-8.
cool.
He's cool.
No.
I have
No,
him for
he's
it.
not.
He's
not
cool,
that cool.
but I mean, Baby Yoda
But
is
Baby
the
Yoda's
cutest
amazing.
thing. Not only that has hit Star Wars galaxy, just any sort of sci-fi creature. Period. And that's that.
Period.
All right, let's
Yep.
get into
Yep.
some predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
Christian, I know you had some that you spoke to.
I've spoken to a few.
Spoken.
I think that IG-11 is on the ship, even though Mando told him not to
snap.
bring him. I think Kuill was like, yeah, we're going to need him. And maybe he was deactivated and he was hiding somewhere. And I think he was able, before he got shot, to activate him. So I think IG-11 is going to
Taika!
F up some
He's
S.
gonna save Baby Yoda.
He's also
who's directing
directing.
the
He's
episode.
directing the
Exactly.
episode.
And in case that's not enough, I think the rest of the Mandalorians are going to come back to help out. I don't know.
Bladt has
we didn't
spoken.
see,
Blatt has spoken.
but I think Mando put out the Mando signal, and they're there.
Mando
They're there
signal.
ready to
It's
help.
A Mandalorian helmet light, Ryan.
Even if there's no,
it's all gonna be good, people.
Even if logically he needs to be dead, digested for thousands of years in the stomach of the Starlight, if one of them is Boba Fett, I'm just gonna lose my shit.
Yo, we're gonna be all right, fam.
Yeah,
we're gonna be good.
Bladt spoken. Zia, what do you think?
Are you calm down? I definitely also thought that, I know I said this earlier, that the other Mandalorians might make an appearance in this one to come back, because they really are backed into a corner and something has to get them out. Like I said, their Mando is great. He's good, but I don't know if he's that good with Death Troopers and all those Star Troopers, and
he likes those odds, but he's outnumbered.
He's a little bit
My
outnumbered.
prediction, and this is taking some context clues into account. There were some awesome trailers for this series, and there's one shot, my favorite shot, that has not popped up yet.
Oh?
Every shot has.
more.
It is the one where Mando exits the door of this room they are currently stuck in. Blasters blazing like this. And that is so happening next week. I cannot wait for this episode. I think it's going to be a complete shootout. This is like the climax of your Western, of your samurai film. This is going to be epic. I hope it's longer than 40 minutes. I really do.
it'll be 41.
It'll be 41, but I think it's going to deliver. Incredible prediction from Christian Bladt over there involving IG-11.
Yeah.
But I do think we're going to get maybe some of those bounty hunters.
Yeah, I think we're getting the bounty hunters back. I think
we'll see them.
I'm trying to see a jetpack on Mando, but I can wait a little bit.
Ahsoka Tano.
Can I want to?
That'd be awesome.
I don't know
That'd
that
be
you've done your
awesome.
prediction yet, but because this is the penultimate episode, who here thinks that we will see Mando's face in the season finale?
Great question.
Not me.
I don't think so. Yeah, I'm with you, Steph. I don't think so.
We're not seeing an ounce of flesh.
If you do, you know what? I think his helmet, like, you can't even like see an eye. We were talking about Captain Phasma before the show.
Honestly.
How you see her eye. I don't think that would happen with Beskar armor.
No,
so.
I don't. Like, even if I saw a hand, I'd be like, yes.
I feel. Wow.
Steph is like, the obsession deepens.
I'm sorry.
Do you think Moff
with you.
Gideon's going to be like, I shoot Baby Yoda, or you take the helmet off? And there's
No. I don't think he cares that much that his helmet is on.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, like,
Yeah. I
to
do
like
care
that-
that much his helmet's on, it's like, bro, what's your complex? Let's
I
take
did
it
like
out.
that the speeder bike trooper offered to buy
Take
it
your
for
helmet
20
off.
credits. He
Yeah.
offered to buy Mando's helmet for 20 credits.
Yeah, he's like, on your wall, just go with it.
Yeah,
that was
I thought
really
that was a
funny.
good exchange.
Like,
was
we're
really funny.
hunting.
Yeah.
We're hunting
Oh,
Mandalorians.
hot
now.
take in the chat. Jenna James, Baby Yoda is a Sith Lord.
Jenna?
Okay.
We know Jenna from
Yeah.
Movie News.
Movie News.
I
Thanks for
appreciate
joining
you
us.
joining us.
Thanks
I
for
don't
the view.
appreciate the Baby Yoda slander.
Hit that like button.
All right? Gosh.
I love the theory, though, Jenna.
Wow.
It is a very interesting theory.
All right, we do have to wrap. I'm just really looking forward to the finale, and we will make sure to social out when we are going live with that.
Yes.
Until next time, happy holidays first and foremost. But Christian, where can we find you in your Christmas sweater?
Happy Life Day, everyone. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChristianDMZ. And tomorrow, Thursday, you can see on the Popcorn Talk Network at 1:30 Pacific, myself, Zia, our co-host Zach Wilson, and the gang from DC Movie News over on Popcorn Talk for the big holiday crossover Marvel DC Christmas special. I guess it's a holiday special, but
Holiday special.
Life Day special, let's just say. So make sure you tune in for that.
Yeah, I'll be there for that. And you can also,
I think Ryan will be there for that.
Brian will be there for that in the booth, right?
Where can they find you, Zia?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Xia_land. It's XIA_land. And I've got, I just meant to,
It's so awesome.
It
Darth
says
Vader.
Mary Sith Miss in the back.
Mary Smithness. I will be there tomorrow. That's 1:30 p.m. for that DC Marvel crossover. It's going to be awesome. Adam Gertler, Roxy Stryer, Zach Wilson, Xia Anderson, Christian Bladt. And you can find Steph Sabraw and myself tomorrow, 4 p.m. Popcorn Talk for Star Wars news, talking Rise of Skywalker and Mandalorian at Ryan Nilsen, at Ryan Nilsen _
Yes, I'm Steph Sabraw. You can find me at Steph Sabraw on Instagram and Twitter. Until next time, may the Force be with you. Happy holidays.
We have spoken.
We have spoken.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.